Hello, this is Tim from Tim's Tiny Arcade, where today, as you can see, I am at an arcade. This is Gatlinburg's Pinball Museum. Just found this while we were on vacation, and I'm going to do a walkthrough and show you all the games they got here.
And you're watching Tim's Tiny Arcade, mother effer.
All right, as you come in, you can see we have a Hercules Pinball. This was designed by Steve Bicker. This was released in '89. This is a beast of a machine, and they had a ceramic cue ball that you could use. The next one was a Ready, Aim, and Fire. This is a 1983 machine. Looks really nice, by the way. Next we have a '83 X and O's Pinball by Bally Midway. Over here in the corner we have a Road Kings. This was produced by Williams. It was a 4-player game with a 2-ball multiplayer feature in it. Then we have Pinbot 86. The object of that game was to advance through the planets of the solar system. You start at Pluto and try to reach the sun. Then one of my favorites, the Machine Bride of Pinbot. This is a Williams machine from '91. There was a production run of 8,100 of these machines. One of my favorites. Next to that we had a Big House. This came out in 1989. And then we have a Hurricane. This was released by Williams in '91. This had a production run of 4,400 machines. And the last one here is a Monte Carlo '87. This is a machine with a gambling theme to it. Okay, then we have a 1982 Atari Kangaroo. Next to that, a POW Prisoners of War side-scrolling beat 'em up by SNK. And one of my favorites in the arcade was Track and Field. This was by Konami. Came out in '83. If you have an arcade, then you have to have a Tron. This is by Bally Midway. It came out in '82. This game had like 4 sub-games: input-output, tower level, the cone level, the light cycles, and the battle tanks. The programmer of that game was Bill Adams. Let's do a little gameplay here. It's kind of hard playing one-handed, but let's see if I can get through this level. This is just an iconic game. There we go, I made it. Sitting next to that we have a Space Invaders Kicks cabinet combo. We've got a Bally Midway Blitz 99 that seemed to be down over here. Then we have a real nice looking X-Men by Konami. This came out in '92. This is another side-scrolling beat 'em up 4-player cabinet. Then over here we have two Neo Geo cabs. All right, then we're going to walk down this hall and we have a lot more games. This place has a ton of games. Over here we have a Wizard of War. This was released in 1980 by Midway. You can play 2 players, and basically you just fight monsters in these infested mazes. Real fun game. Behind me I have another Track and Field. This one's in a cocktail. I mean, I love the javelin, the high jump, the long jump, and the 100-meter dash. Real fun game. Behind me, I have a 1982 Atari Millipede. This is the sequel to Centipede. It just had a lot more variety than Centipede. Then we have a high impact football 4-player game. We have an 8-way joystick, one button. I've never played this game before. Then we have a Buck Rogers Planet of Zoom by Sega. This was released in '82. It's got a real awesome flight stick. Next to that, we have a 1980 Atari Centipede. Always a favorite. Every time I'm in an arcade, I'm playing this game. And we have an X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which is basically a crossover fighting game. This was developed by Capcom. We got a monstrous cabinet here. We have an Atari Cbs. It's a vertical shooting scroller, mix of air and ground targets you'd have to hit. We got a Williams Defender. This game came out in '81. It was developed by Eugene Jarvis. Next to that, we got a Marvel Superheroes. Been a real interesting game. This is called Red Alert. This is where you control this turret, and you can move across the ground, and you can just fire straight up. And your object is of the games to keep that turret alive and keep those attackers from destroying the city. I'll play a little bit of it just to show you guys. I'd never seen this in an arcade before. Next to that, I have we have a Pingo. This came out in '82. Basically, this is just a maze of blocks where you have to crush other little blobs, and I think they're called snow bees. All right, so over here, then we have a Pac-Mania. This was released in '87. This game is kind of like a 3D format. The big difference is you can jump over the ghost. Then we have a Centipede, Missile Command, Millipede, Trackball combo game there. Next to that, Phoenix. Kind of plays like similar to Space Invaders. This was released in 1980. Then a Carnival. This is a fixed shooter that was released by Sega in 1980. It was one of the first games known for a bonus round. Then we had Miss Pac-Man, which I ended up hitting a high score on it here at the arcade. Make Tracks, 81, control a paintbrush. Spy Hunter, that came out in '83. Kind of a overhead vehicular combat game. Next to that, we had a Outrun, made by Sega. This came out in '86. It was one of the best-selling games of all time. Next to that, we have a Gorf, released in '81. Gorf stands for Galactic Orbiting Robot Force, if you didn't know that. We have X-Men. And then next to that, we had Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This came out in 1977, based off the movie. All right, then we got Virtua Fighter, 1993 Sega. This was known as one of the first 3D fighting games. We got Tetris, 88 by Atari. Puzzle game, stacking shapes, pretty fun. Aztecs, and this was an abstract strategy game. I've never played this one, actually. Then we had a Pac-Man's Pixel Blast. Basically, this is a multi-cade, so there's pages of games you can play on this thing. Pretty cool artwork on it, though. I liked it. And then we got the classic Moon Patrol. This is from 1982 from Williams. This is side score with your jump and shoot button.
Every single dinosaur.
Next to that, we had 1981's Frogger. This is another classic from the Golden Age. This is known for its gameplay and its theme. And then right next to that, Mario Brothers from Nintendo. Okay, then we have a Versus Duck Hunt from '84. 2 guns, real fun game. A Player's Choice by Nintendo. I think it had 10 different games from the NES on it. Right next to that, Donkey Kong. That's one of my top 3 all-time favorite games. Gotta have Donkey Kong in the arcade. Next to that, you have a Donkey Kong Jr. from '82, the sequel to Donkey Kong, and then a Burger Time from Day to East. Then in the corner, I think this was a Zoltan fortune teller, but he seemed to be missing at the time. All right, now we got all the pinball. We have a Elvis from 2004 Stern. Next to that, we have a Spider-Man with an awesome topper on top. I played that one, loved it. There's Sandman in there. That is a real fun pinball machine to play. Next to that, we had Shrek Pinball. Then we had Lord of the Rings. This is a 2003 Stern. have Avatar. Take a look at this topper. A lot of these pinball machines in this arcade had toppers. Then we got Stern Aerosmith 2017. Beautiful looking machine. Then we had Monster Bash with another topper. And then next to that's my favorite. And I played this one a lot. I played this more than any other game in the arcade. AC/DC Pinball. This is 2012, designed by Steve Ritchie. Fun game to play. Love hearing the AC/DC songs as I was playing it. And then right next to that with the topper, Metallica. That's from Stern, 2013. And we had a Mustang, and this is the limited edition one from Stern. Next to a Kiss with another topper. It's just a beautiful playing field. Then we have from the movie Jurassic Park. And then another limited edition machine, Game of Thrones. Then we had a Medieval Madness. That's a fun one to play. And next to it, we have Tron, which I didn't get to play this one. I didn't have enough time. I wanted to try it, but I didn't get time. Okay, we have The Hobbit, 2016. I believe this was manufactured by Jersey Jack Pinball.
Lock is lit.
Next to that, we have Attack from Mars. That's a fun pinball machine. Probably my favorite topper right there. And then we had Stern Batman 66. Has an LCD display, voiceover by Adam West. I played that one. Had a lot of fun playing that one. Right next to that, we have Transformers. And it has a pretty cool topper on that one, as you can see also. And then we have Stern Star Wars Limited Edition, original Star Wars trilogy. It has select speech in this one and footage from the movie. Real fun pinball machine. Cool topper, Guardians of the Galaxy from Stern. I played that one. Struggled with that one. It was hard pinball machine for me, but I actually really enjoyed playing it. Need more practice on that one. And then Tommy, the Who's Pinball from I believe Data East, sitting right next to that one. All right, we have a Williams Line Drive, 1972, a baseball pinball. Sitting next to that, we have the Harley Davidson. Then we have Ironman Pinball, 2010 from Stern. He has an awesome lineup of Stern Pinball in this arcade. Awesome playing field there. Right next to that, we have the Avengers from Stern. This is a 2012. Sitting next to that, we have Ghostbusters. Pretty cool Pillsbury Doughboy on the playfield. This is from Stern also. And then we have Walking Dead, AMC. Look at that topper on this one. You got 3 zombie heads right there. That is so cool. Then we have the Beatles, Beatlemania. That has an LCD screen on it. That playfield just pops with all those lights. Over here we have a Sure Shot from 1976. Sitting next to that we have a Rescue 911. That's a 1994 machine. Then we have a Meteor. That's 1979. Sitting next to that, we have 1969 Airport. Then we have a Bally Old Chicago, 1976. a Rocky and Bullwinkle, Data East. And then right next to that, a cool one, it's Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man. That one has 3 flippers, 11 drop targets, and it's got a lot of sounds from the arcade Pac-Man machine. Okay, we have a Star Wars Data East 92 based off the original trilogy. Pretty cool. Over here we have a 82 Bally Baby Pac-Man. Kind of weird, this one you have to start playing the arcade part first before you can actually do the pinball. Right next to that, Addams Family 92. This is the best-selling pinball of all time. Over 20,000 units have been sold. Fun game, real fun game. Next to that, Creature from the Black Lagoon 92. This came out. It was loosely based on the movie with the same name. Awesome looking playing field. Over here we have Flash Gordon. This came out in 81. This was the first split level pinball machine from Bally. And then we have Joust, 1969 from Bally. This is a pretty uncommon game to find. Okay, then we have a new pinball machine they just added to the arcade, Congo from Williams, 95. It was based on the movie. And then we have a Playboy. This is a 1978 Bally. You got Q on the top there, Q Hefner. Then you have a Skyline from 1965. And being down in Tennessee, you got to have a Dolly Parton in your arcade. This is a 1979 pinball machine. Then we have a Bally 4. This is super rare. This is from 1973, and I believe there was less than 100 of those produced. Then we have a Bally Speakeasy. And then over here, right next to it, we have a Delta Queen. This is from Bally, 1974. Then kind of tucked back, I found this row of fighters back here. Pretty cool little area, just a little hallway. You have your Mortal Kombat. Awesome side art there. Next to one of my favorites, Mortal Kombat 2. And then we got Tekken 3. Fun game. Killer Instinct. And then the arcade version of WrestleMania. Fun game. Love playing that. I always like to play with my nephew. So Gatlinburg Pinball Museum. Man, they got everything here. And they got a lot of the highly sought after pinball machines. They had over 60 of them. They had over 40 arcade games. The deal is it's $15, unlimited play. They give you a wrist band that goes around your wrist, and you can leave and come as you want. Awesome place. Highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite arcades I've been to. So if you're in the Gatlinburg, Tennessee area, definitely look this one up. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you guys all later.